Grade 8s, I would like you to open up your assignment that you found on page 208. You did that last section in section 6.2. I would like you to write down the question and your answer for number 4 and for number 5. So example for number 4a, the question was 1/4 divided by 2. And your answer should have been 1/8. Okay? I would like you to write them all down on your whiteboard right now. Press pause and do that. All right. So, if you checked your answers and you got the correct answers, then this is what you should now have written on your whiteboard. The question is, what pattern do you see? Pause it and study this until you think you could come up with a way to divide these fractions by the whole number without drawing a diagram of it. Maybe if you have an idea, you want to pause it here and share it with a friend who's not coming up with an idea themselves. Can you see a pattern? I'm sitting here waiting for you to figure out a pattern. I've even had time to decorate my screen lovely. Okay, what pattern do you see? I'll maybe give you a hint if you don't see it yet. What is the relationship here? And here? And here? And here? And it should continue here. You see anything? I'm hoping you do. What we've come to notice here is when we divide, we have a quarter, if I'm looking at this first 4a, a quarter divided by 2. What we do to find the answer, it appears like anyways, is this number comes here, and then we multiply 4 times 2, and it equals 8. This number comes here, 3 times 3 gives me 9, etc. Does that make sense? It appears like it's working for every question. Pretty cool. And we're going to use that to divide. Now, let's flip to the next page. We see here that 1/10 divided by 1/5. We did see a pattern when we were dividing, although we were dividing with whole numbers then. So if I took 1/10 and I divided, say, by 3, by using the pattern that we just talked about, my answer should be 1/10 times 3 is 30, which is true. Let me show you what we have come to know about dividing fractions. Now we know that 3, we can actually write it over 1, right? Yes, you should all be nodding your head and agreeing with me right now. So, when I divide fractions, what I do is I take the 3 and I flip it. That's what that symbol means. I flip it to be 1/3. You see, it used to be 3/1, and I flip it. And when I flip the second fraction, I turn the sign to multiply. And we know how to multiply, don't we? Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And that's how we got our answer. So, let's go to this question here, 1/10 divided by 1/5. And if we follow those exact same steps, we flip the second fraction and we multiply, we should get the right answer. So we have 1/10 multiplied by 5/1, and our answer should be 5/10. Of course, I could reduce that. I could divide by 5 and I would get 1/2. Well done. It's interesting that when we divide fractions, we always get a larger answer than we started with. It was the opposite when we multiplied fractions. If I would multiply 1/10 by 1/5, I would get a very tiny amount, 1/50th. Very tiny amount. But we can see that when we divide, we get a half. So when we multiply fractions, we get a smaller amount than the fractions we started with. And when we divide fractions, we get a larger amount than when we started with. Now, this idea, let me grab my highlighter, this idea of flipping a fraction here and here, it actually has a special name, and we use the word reciprocate. The word reciprocate means to flip. And I often use that symbol to mean reciprocate. All right. Now, there we go. What does reciprocate mean? To flip over. So the numerator becomes the new denominator, and the denominator becomes the new numerator. Let's try here. So calculate this quotient. Remember, quotient means the answer when we're dividing. The steps we're going to follow to do this are given on the right. Number 1, if the fraction is mixed, we're going to make it improper. We are then going to multiply by the reciprocal. We are then going to reduce the answer, of course, and we're going to put our final answer as an improper fraction and a mixed fraction. All right, let's give this one a try. So, making the fractions improper, well, they both are not mixed, so they're fine the way they are. Let's move on to step number 2. We are going to reciprocate, flip the second fraction, and multiply. Okay, so 4/5 multiplied by 10/3. We know how to multiply. It's very easy. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Good. Third step is always to reduce. So we see here that these end in 0 and 5, so for sure it can be divisible by 5. And we would get 8/3. We are also going to leave this in mixed form. 3 can be put into 2 groups with 2 left over. Excellent. Okay, on your own now. There's 2 questions. I'm going to move this one a little bit down for you. On your whiteboards, I would like you to divide 2/9 by 5/6, following these steps on the right. Make the fractions improper. If they're not, multiply by the reciprocal, reduce, and answer in both forms. Okay, pause it here. Do these 2 questions, and when you're ready, press play, and the answers will be revealed. Very good. Okay, I am going to give you 2 more questions to practice on your whiteboards. Let us try 4 2/3 divided by 1/2, as well as 2 and, oh goodness, 3/5 divided by 3 and 1/2. Okay, give those 2 a whirl, and when you're done, the answers will be revealed, and you can proceed to your practice questions in your textbook. Well done. There it is again. Sorry, that was kind of quick. And here is your assignment, should you choose to accept it. One last question. What was the word again that we learned that means flipping a fraction? Write it on your whiteboard. Did you write reciprocal? to flip. Okay, good luck on your assignment.